Free weights or resistance machines? Which is best for building muscle when you're over 50? Well, I'm sure you've all heard plenty of people say that one method is better than the other. Dumbbells and barbells are better than machines. You know, you got a deadlift bro, or you got a bench bro. Well, in this video, I'm going to highlight 3 benefits of both so you can hopefully make the best decision for yourself. Okay, so first of all, when it comes to building muscle, you've got to stick to a training program that you're happy with, making sure that you're incorporating progressive overload, good nutrition, and on top of that, staying injury free, which can be challenging sometimes when you're trying to push yourself. And I think staying injury free is something that most people over 50 want to try and prioritize. Okay, then let's start off with resistance machines. Resistance machines tend to focus more on the target muscle group. Okay, so it's a fixed path and the machine's doing all the stabilizing for you. So for example, if you're going to do a chest press, you literally just sit down and push, compared to say a barbell bench press or dumbbells, where you're having to stabilize the weight. So you're using a lot of extra energy stabilizing the bar, okay, and balancing. So because the machine is doing that for you, that extra energy you have can go towards extra reps or extra weight, which means you'll potentially get more development for that specific muscle group in that specific range of motion. Okay, number 2, you can generally push yourself a lot more when using resistance machines. Okay, you can get a lot closer to failure. In fact, you can actually train right to failure safely. You don't need a spotter or safety bars on a rack, for example. Training to failure is a lot safer. You're not going to get squished by a barbell trying to re-rack the weight, or lower a pair of dumbbells back to the floor when you completely fatigue your muscle. That can cause injuries, you know, if you're doing like a bench press, for example. And you really do need to train as close to failure as possible if you want to grow. So you can literally go right to failure with little or no worry of injury when using resistance machines. Okay, number 3, using resistance machines is going to be potentially a lot safer and much lower risk of injury. You know, for example, you're not having to pick up dumbbells off a rack, pick them off the floor, put them back on the rack, okay, potentially hurting your back. It's probably not something a 20-year-old's going to be thinking about, but when you're over 50, you need to be careful doing stuff like this. You know, even when you're just warming up, changing your dumbbells, for example, increasing the load, which you should be doing. Okay, this can be quite taxing on your lower back. Having to bend down, pick the weights up, pick them back up again. So you don't have to worry about any of this when using a machine, especially if it's a stack rather than using weight plates. So if staying injury free is a top priority for you, then definitely consider resistance machines for this reason. Okay, then onto free weights, dumbbells and barbells. So free weights in general will give you a more overall development. You'll have a wider range of motion in most cases, enabling you to recruit muscle fibers that you wouldn't be recruiting using a machine because of the lack of range of motion. And on top of that, you'll be developing your stabilizer muscles, your core muscles, your grip strength, a lot more than you would if you're using machines. Yeah, and all these things are going to help with your balance and coordination, all the things that we want to make sure we're on top of as we get older. Okay, number 2, one of the restrictions to resistance machines is that they're fixed in place and it's for a specific body part for the most part. I mean, you can use a leg press for your cars, for example, but they're designed for a specific muscle group. But with free weights, you can do multiple exercises with just one pair of dumbbells. Now, depending on what it is you're actually trying to achieve will determine whether one pair of dumbbells is effective enough. But you can do lunges, single leg remaining deadlifts, bicep curls, shoulder press, chest flies, lat pullovers, single leg dumbbell calf raises, lateral raises, tricep extensions, single arm leg raise, knuckle twist rotation extensions, single arm leg raise, extension twist knuckle rotations. Is that an exercise? The point is they're versatile. Okay, you can literally build a decent amount of muscle, a couple of pairs of dumbbells at home. It's not what you've got, it's how you use it. Okay, number 3, free weights simulate real life movements a lot better than resistance machines. In other words, they're better for functional strength. You know, you're probably not going to be lying on your back pushing something with your legs in a real life situation, unless there's some kind of fetish I'm not aware of. But you'll definitely be squatting down and back up again plenty of times throughout your life, especially if you're into teabagging. Now, I'm not into teabagging, I'm just using it as an example. I'm just saying that some sort of squat variation is going to simulate a real life situation better than machines. And of course, this will make you a lot more athletic. So if you want more overall development, overall strength, overall athleticism, then free weights are going to be a better option. If you really want to focus on staying injury free, then I guess the machines are a better option if you've got to pick one over the other. But ultimately, it just comes down to your own personal goals, your own personal preferences. I guess the ideal situation is a bit of both, because there are benefits to both. There isn't a wrong way here. As long as you're enjoying the exercises and you're making progress, no need to change anything. Pick the one you like. Now, go and show your partner your new biceps and try out that leg press fetish I was on about. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.